Welcome to WonderWorks series Saturdays in Space. If you missed part 1, please make sure you go check it out as it includes an important introduction. All our videos are available on Facebook or our YouTube channel. We will now continue with Ask an Astronaut with NASA's Dr. Don Thomas.
Okay, next question is from Riley. How can I become an astronaut? And Riley, and for all of our students listening in today, the number one thing you can do to become an astronaut in the future is just to work hard and do your best in school every day right now. You want to be one of the best. You want to give it your absolute best effort every day. So I always recommend right now, today, work hard, get your homework done. If you need help, get help from your parents, from your teacher, from your friends. But work hard and really learn the material. For an astronaut, we've got two types of astronauts. We've got military astronauts, and they typically fly the shuttle. They come out of the Air Force, the Navy, and they have to go to fighter pilot school and have thousands of hours of jet flying experience. So those are our pilot astronauts. And then we have another class of astronauts called mission specialists, and that's what I am. These are your science astronauts. And our job on the mission is not to fly the shuttle, but to do the science. They train us to do the spacewalks, work the robotic arm. So we each have our area of specialty on the crew. So, to become an astronaut, there's those two paths you can take. Either go through the military, or you could become a civilian, go to university, go on to college, study math, science, engineering, or the medical field. And the astronauts that we select come from a wide range of backgrounds. My background is in engineering. We also have medical doctor astronauts. We have astronomers. We've got, geologists. We also have veterinarian astronauts because we would fly a lot of animals up in space to do experiments. And we have veterinarians that fly with us. So they select from a wide range of backgrounds, figure out a subject that you like the most. If you like robotics or you like coding, if you like, astronomy, whatever it is that you like, work hard at that. Be one of the best. And then remember, when you're applying to be an astronaut, do not give up. If you don't get selected the first time, you don't give up. You just look for little things you can do to make yourself better for the next go around. And it'll take time to get there too, so be patient. So that's how all of you can become an astronaut. And it's really a cool thing here. About 20, 25 years from now, we're going to be landing astronauts on Mars for the first time. And those astronauts landing on Mars aren't this generation of astronauts. I'm too old for that. In 20 years, I'm going to be 86. NASA's not sending me to Mars. The astronauts going to Mars are all of you here with us today. We call you the Mars generation. And it'll be somebody in your generation to be that first human to set foot on Mars 20 years from now. So we need your help. We're not going to get to Mars without your help. And that's why we need you working hard in school and doing your best every single day. And I hope some of you make it to Mars. If you ever go to Mars, you got to promise to call me when you get back. I want to hear all about your trip. Okay, our next question comes from Trace. And Trace asks, what made you want to be an astronaut? Well, I told you when I saw Alan Shepard go up when I was in kindergarten, I watched the launch and I knew I wanted to be an astronaut. But what really made me want to go up there, the astronauts would come back and they would describe what zero gravity felt like. How did it feel floating in space? And they would describe it. They would also describe how beautiful the sunrises and sunsets were from space. And I just wanted to see those sunrises with my own eyes. And I wanted to experience zero gravity on my own. I liked reading their description, but I wanted to see and feel that all on my own as well. So that's what really drove me. Plus, I like exploring. I'll bet a lot of you love exploring as well. I love exploring. I like going places that not everybody goes to. I like going to new places that I've never been to before. So I always like the idea of exploring. That's part of learning, right? Just exploring new things and learning along the way. And I've always been an explorer. And the astronaut job is just perfect for that. because everything we do in space, everywhere we go, like going to Mars in the future, this is all exploration. So if you love to be an explorer, if you love exploring, join us in the astronaut program. But that's what made me want to be an astronaut. I love exploring. I wanted to see sunrises and sunsets, and I wanted to float in space. And I was able to do all of that. Okay, our next question comes from both Eddie and Josiah. And they ask, were you scared during the launch? And what was going through your head going up into space? Was I scared? You bet I was scared on all my missions, not just my first mission, but my second, my third, my fourth. I was always, a little piece of me was scared. And I tell people I was like 10% scared and 90% really excited about what I was doing. And I compare it to going on a great roller coaster. If you go to one of the great theme parks, you're on the roller coaster ride, the bar comes down or they strap you into your seat, and you're probably a little bit nervous, a little bit scared, but really excited to get that ride started. And that's the way I felt in the space shuttle. The main reason I'm a little bit scared is we had an accident in the space shuttle program where it blew up about a minute and a half into launch, and all 7 astronauts died on that flight. So I know that sometimes there can be accidents and it can blow up. So that always made me a little bit scared. It doesn't scare me enough to keep me away from it. I still want to go to space, but I have a healthy respect for the dangers of what we're doing, flying to space. So yes, a little piece of me was always scared, but it was mainly great excitement, to go up to space. And what was going through my head, I just wanted to keep feeling the push of the rocket. As long as I felt the push as we were heading up to space, I knew the engines were working well, and I knew we would make it to space. And when the engines lit on my very first flight, I could hear the noise, I could feel the shaking and vibration. I felt a push in my back as we lifted off the launch pad. And sitting in my seat, I had my helmet on, visor down. Nobody in the world could hear me, and I'm screaming inside my helmet, "Yahoo, let's go!" Because here was the dream of my life, and it's taking place right in front of my own eyes. So when I first felt the launch on that first mission, I was just screaming, all excited about it. And then for the remainder 8.5 minutes getting up to space, I was just quietly sitting there, hoping that the engines worked perfectly, that we made it up to space. And I wanted to feel that push in my back, which meant that the engines were running, pushing us up to space. And once I got there, after 8.5 minutes, the engines would shut down. It would be perfectly quiet. And I knew I made it to space. And I was so excited. I said, I made it. I made it. I've dreamed of this for 33 years. And I made it to space. It was really a great moment to fly to space on my first flight. Okay, our next question comes from Carmen. And Carmen asked, what type of STEM activities help you prepare for your adventure? And Carmen, everything that you learn in STEM is really great for being an astronaut. And some of these STEM activities, I think, that really help me is, some of the activities when you're learning to be a good observer. If you're looking in a microscope and looking at plants or little protozoa, little animals in there swimming around, you're learning to be a good observer and maybe drawing what you're seeing or describing what you're seeing. Looking in a telescope, looking at the stars, looking at a planet. It just helps you be a really good observer. And that's what you need to be an astronaut. We go up to space and we're observing the Earth, we're observing the planets, we're doing science up there. You want to be a really good observer because you represent the eyes and the brain of everybody on the ground up there. So you have to be really good at seeing things, observing it, and then describing it to other people. That's where communication skills, become very important. It's really important in the STEM field that you be able to talk about what you're doing and why you're doing it and describe, again, what you're seeing or experiencing. And I think all those activities, those STEM activities in school really helped me out.
Thank you for joining Saturdays in Space. We appreciate all the teachers and students that sent in their amazing questions. We hope to see you next week. Make sure you give us a follow, a like, and a share so you don't miss out on more videos and a chance to win free WonderWorks tickets.